You got the bill, right, darling?
I guess I have been paying for most dinners lately.
Haha, you're the one with the big bucks.
Yeah, no worries. My name is Jackie, 30 years old, and I have been married to Todd for 2 years. Since the start of our relationship, our expenses have always been separated, as we have individual bank accounts. But in a sense, my money was his and his money was mine. We never really tried to keep scores with each other, understanding that was not how a partnership worked. But after 2 years, I found that I was usually paying for everything. Of the two, I had a better paying job as a computer technician. He's a school teacher. I never saw him as someone insecure about their job status, but I guess he always was, although secretly. Some of our family members would joke around with him and say, "Wow, your gender roles are surely reversed." I didn't see it as such a big deal and would just smile. He, however, began to take offense. But that's not when I began to worry about our marriage. It wasn't until he began to inquire about a joint bank account.
Why? I see no reason.
It's like you said, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Might as well match the statement. I don't know. I think we should have a right to our own money, in a sense. Ownership over something we made. I worked hard for that money.
All of a sudden, it's just your money?
That's not what I meant. I just like how it is now. Could we compromise? How about we have 3 accounts? Mine, yours, and ours. We both put a little bit in the joint each week.
Well, how much?
$200?
Are you serious? With my teacher's wage?
Oh, of course, yes, you're right. How about $100 for you and $200 for me? He hesitated, but eventually relented. We started inserting the money inside the joint bank account the following week. I thought everything was... But when I took a peek inside our joint bank account at the end of the month, there was no money inside. Not even the money I put in. I was mortified.
Jackie, where did the money go?
I showed him my phone to display the bank statements.
Oh, well, I was short on cash and needed to fix my car. I had a flat tire last week.
And it cost $1,200?
No, I had other stuff done to the car.
Why didn't you just tell me that you needed service?
I just didn't want to bother you. You've been very busy with work, and I tried to fix the problem on my own.
That's still no excuse, Todd. We are a team, aren't we?
Yeah, I know, all right? Can we just drop it?
He was on a short fuse, and I just didn't understand why. I hadn't done anything for him to warrant this type of behavior. We argued some more over the matter. The next day, I decided to visit my mother and see if she had any advice for a married couple. She was the only expert I know.
So how is everything?
I paused before opening up.
Everything's fine, just fine. Well, maybe not exactly.
What do you mean?
Todd and I have been having many issues with money.
You guys are struggling?
Oh no, God, no. It's just, he was adamant about getting a joint bank account. And then I came to find out he blew it all to rebuild and enhance his car. This isn't a big deal, but the fact he didn't tell me as soon as possible.
Yes, that can be tough.
So what should I do?
Follow your heart.
That's easy for you to say. I don't know what my heart is trying to say.
Yes, you do. You know Todd better than anyone else. What do you think is going on?
I paused for a moment to really sit with that thought. I hadn't changed, but he had. And it all revolved around money.
Come on, say it.
He's hiding something from me.
She gave me a sad smile before leaning back in her seat.
And it's up to you whether you want to find out.
Well, why wouldn't I want to find out?
Sometimes it's easier to deny something you can't see or touch, dear.
Mom was right. I was afraid of what I would find out, and rightly so. To test the waters, I decided to put less and less money in our shared bank account, which started a whole new fight. I told him that I wanted to buy my mom something for her birthday coming up, and I wanted to cut back on the joint payments. He told me I was greedy. I didn't understand why he was so insistent on spending. I paid most of our bills as is. He quite literally had nothing to worry about. For the most part, we were pretty well off. But everything changed that night. I'm usually a light sleeper, so when Todd shifted from the bed, I was half awake already. Figured he was just going to the restroom. So I didn't say anything. But I was wrong. He tiptoed out of the room and lightly shut the door. We had a bathroom in our room connected, so I found that odd. Suddenly, I saw a faint light coming from under the door. Curious, I got up from bed and opened our bedroom door. I could faintly hear his voice. He was at the office. We shared it, but mostly it was mine, as I did most of my work there. Why was he up this late? What could he be doing? I tiptoed until I heard his voice loud enough to register.
Honey, I don't know if I can do this. Yes, I know. Well, she's been growing suspicious. I tried getting her bank information, but she won't let me. And she's stubborn over the joint account. No, I told you no. Why would I do that? I actually loved Jackie at one point. Baby, you know what I mean. Well, at least I'm being honest. We've been married for 2 years, and together in total for 3. Those types of feelings don't just disappear. But baby, I love you. You know that. And I'm going to get the money. All right? You have to sit tight, my love.
I was stunned. Did he cheat on me? Stealing my money right from under my nose to support his floozy mistress? How dare he say that he loved me? That wasn't love. It was simply a familiarity with what once was. Before he would find me standing in the hall, I walked back to our room quietly. I began to cry softly on my pillow, drifting into a deep sleep. I had a dream that night that I got everything I wanted. A loving husband with a beautiful house and a healthy family. That was further than the truth. I wanted to confront him in the morning when I woke up. I was too upset and in shock to say anything the night before. However, as suspected, he had left for work. As I was getting ready for the day, doing my morning routine, I began to think, if he really wanted the money, I would give it to him. He'd see what money could do to a person. I decided to devise a plan to set him up for massive failure. All I needed was a safe and some fake, believable money. It was easy to buy a safe, but finding legitimate counterfeit bills is another thing. That day, I did some searching and found a site with counterfeit bills. I ordered as many as I could. I guess they were used in films, and so they were collectibles. In total, I was able to acquire 4 suitcases full of money. All I had to do was fill them in the safe. After finishing the last touches, I went about doing my daily tasks. That night, my plan would begin. During dinner, I made sure that I was distant. I had usually been the one who initiated conversations. During dinner, I made sure that I was distant. I had usually been the one who initiated conversations, so that change of attitude should be enough to alarm him.
A long-lost relative has passed in my family. Eventually, he gave me a weary look and said, "What's the matter with you?"
I paused for dramatic effect.
What's the matter with you?
I dropped my fork, enjoying my little act.
It's lie. I don't know how to say this.
What the hell is going on?
A long-lost relative has passed in my family.
Did you know them?
No, that's not the problem.
What is it then?
I don't know why, but they gave me almost $1 million in inheritance, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Did you say $1 million?
I nodded.
Jesus Christ. Do you know what you could do with that type of money?
That's not the point.
Are you crazy? This is our money. We need to keep it within these walls. But I do like the stock idea. I'm filthy rich.
We?
Huh?
We are filthy rich.
Oh yes, of course.
Where's the money? You need to put it in our joint bank account immediately.
I can't.
Well, why the hell not?
I got it in cash. It was shipped this morning.
He begged me to show him where it was, so I took him to the closet where the boxed safe sat.
What's the code?
Your birthday.
Wow, this is amazing.
For the rest of the night, he was rather sweet with me. In fact, I should say the rest of the week. He rarely spoke about money anymore. Maybe there was a chance, a sliver of hope that he wouldn't leave me for her. I went to Mom's house sometime the following week and told her everything that happened.
Are you nuts?
No, Mom. I think it was a good idea. I mean, he hasn't talked about money for almost 2 weeks now, and he's been paying for nearly all the meals.
Honey, this is gonna backfire. If he changes his ways, he expects the money to be real. It's not. So how will you tell him that the cash in the safe is fake?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hadn't thought that far ahead. I expected him to run for the hills as soon as I told him about the money. I felt grave about it for the next few days. I would have to tell him eventually, but I hoped for the best because he hadn't mentioned the safe once. I decided to go to his school, where he worked during his lunch. I brought him his favorite homemade turkey sandwiches. The office knew who I was, so they gave me a wave and immediately handed me a visitor's pass. I went straight to his classroom. I didn't bother knocking, so I just walked right in. Todd was sitting there, smiling so wide I could see every tooth. Standing only a few feet away from him was a young woman. Todd's eyes flashed in my direction. His smile immediately dropped.
Honey, what are you doing here?
I just came and brought you lunch. Is this a bad time?
I looked between the woman and my husband. I felt extremely awkward at this moment. Why were they alone together? Is she the other woman?
So, do you have lunch with Mila often?
No, of course not. Jackie, this is my coworker, Mila.
Hello, Jackie.
She had a Russian accent.
Bye.
She left immediately after, and I was left with my husband. Was she his mistress? I mean, she was tall and beautiful from head to toe. I couldn't help but feel self-conscious. This is what I had to work with. I sat opposite from Todd, and we ate silently until I said, "So do you have lunch with Mila often?"
I don't know. Why don't you ask her? Besides, she's leaving at the end of the month.
Why?
Her work visa is expiring, and she'll have to go back to her home country to settle there.
I couldn't help but give a small smile. Maybe he broke things off with her, and they were saying their goodbyes. This whole safe thing wasn't such a great idea after all. My mom was right. I was going to have to come clean with Todd. The whole day, I thought over any explanation that was best suited. Tomorrow was going to be Saturday, so I thought of making a hefty breakfast with all his favorites and breaking the news. I was extra sweet with him the entire Friday. I went to sleep and woke up feeling colder. I looked to my side and I didn't see Todd, which I found strange because I was a light sleeper, or at least I thought I was. I tended to wake up with him or before him. Nevertheless, I got up from bed expecting him to be in the kitchen brewing coffee. But he wasn't there. Suddenly, I felt sick to my stomach. I ran upstairs and went straight to my closet. The safe was gone entirely, with only a small piece of paper in its place. I picked it up from its spot. It read, "Dear Jackie, I'm sorry I did this to you. You don't deserve this, but I'm in love with someone else. I think you've known for a while now. Milo and I ran off together. And to live the life we both want, we took the money. Don't come looking for me because we are long gone now. We've both changed names and identities, but I don't want you to think I never loved you." I did, but not anymore. I know it's tough to hear that, but it's true. From Todd, I crumpled the piece of paper up and tossed it in the corner of the closet. How stupid of me to think he stopped cheating on me. He never did. He was just waiting for the last moment. I assumed they went to Russia and planned to live there with their so-called secret identities. They would have to go to a Russian bank to transfer the money into whatever currency Russians use. It was only a matter of time before they realized the money was fake. I went over to my mom's house, and she consoled me the best she could, but I knew this was only the beginning of my healing process. Several days later, I got a phone call from out of the country, Russia to be exact. I was tempted to leave the phone ringing, but decided against it. "I'll pay the fee." A robotic voice asked if I wanted to accept this call. I said yes.
Hello?
Jackie, I need your help, please. They're holding me in prison. The money you had in the safe was fake. Your distant relative was trying to set you up.
No, they didn't.
What do you mean? They gave it to you to set you up.
No, Todd. I set you up.
What?
Todd, do you really think I am that dumb? I knew you were cheating on me. This is what you get. Tell me.
What? You son of a...
Before he could finish his sentence, I hung up. I got lawyers, just in case I was dragged into this mess. But fortunately for me, I was never contacted again. The police in Russia didn't believe Todd's story, and because he and his mistress faked their identities, it wasn't looking good for him. Luckily for me, I never heard or saw him again. Now I'm dating and living my best life. Pixabay Vektizi